হারুন ভাই, কেমন আছো তুমি? আমি না বোন, কেমন আছো? ভাই
আমি আপনার ঘরে যাওয়ার জন্য আসি নাই, আর আপনার বাড়িতে জামাই আদর পাইতেও আসি নাই। আমি একটা জরুরি কথা কইতেছি, আগে সেটা শুনুন।
কি কথা ভাই?
শোনেন ভাইজান, আমি ছোটখাটো একটা চাকরি করি, অল্প বেতন পাই। যে বেতন পাই ওই বেতন দিয়ে আমার সংসার আর কোনোভাবেই চলতেছে না। আমি এর জন্য সিদ্ধান্ত নিয়েছি যে আমি একটা ব্যবসা করব। ব্যবসা করতে গেলে তো আমার ক্যাশ টাকা দরকার, নগদ টাকা দরকার, সেটা তো আমার কাছে নাই। এর জন্য আমি আপনার বাড়িতে আইছি, আপনি আমার 1 লাখ টাকা দিবেন, সেই টাকা দিয়ে ব্যবসা শুরু করব।
ভাইজান, এই 1 লাখ টাকার জন্য সে সারাক্ষণ আমার সাথে ঝগড়া করে, এমনকি আমার গায়ে হাত পর্যন্ত তোলে। আমার শাশুড়ি আমার সাথে দিন রাত ঝগড়া করে, আমার কথা শোনায়। আমার এই জ্বালা যন্ত্রণা সহ্য হইতেছে না ভাইজান। তুমি যেমনে পারো এই 1 লাখ টাকা জোগাড় করে আরে দাও।
আমি আব্বার জায়গা যাওয়ার জমি চাষবাস করে খাই, তার মধ্যে বিদেশ যাওয়ার জন্য কিছু টাকা জমা দিয়েছিলাম। ওই টাকার উপর হদিস পাইতেছি না, আমার কাছে কোনো টাকা নেই, আমি টাকা দিতে পারবো না।
কি করলেন আপনি? টাকা দিতে পারবেন না? ওই মেয়ে, ওই আপনার বোনকে যখন বিয়ে করছি, চেহারা বসার যোগ্যতা তো নেই নাই, ফার্নিচার অলংকার কিচ্ছু নেই নাই, একটা অনুষ্ঠান যে করবেন ছোটখাটো সেইটাও করেন নাই। হ্যাঁ, আর এখন 1 লাখ টাকা চাইছি দরকার বলে, সেটা আপনি আবার না করে দিতে পারবেন না?
কে? তোমরা দুজন তো প্রেম করে বিয়ে করছো। যখন বিয়ে করছো তখন তো কইছো ভালোবাসার মানুষজন আমার কিচ্ছু লাগবো না। এখন আমার এত টাকা টাকা করতেছো কে?
এই যে ভাবি, এই যে চাবায়ে চাবায়ে কথা বলা বন্ধ করেন। আমার যখন ভালোবাসার মানুষ দরকার ছিল তখন আমি ভালোবাসার মানুষ চাইছি, এখন আমার টাকা লাগবে, আমি টাকা চাইতেছি। ভালো ভালো কইতেছি আমার 1 লাখ টাকা দেন, যদি টাকা না দিতে পারেন আমার মা কইছে আমার আর এই বাড়ি রাখতে দিন। সে আমার অন্য জায়গায় বিয়ে করবো, ওইখান থেকে টাকা নেব।
কি মগের হুলুক পাইছো? আমার ননদকে তুই তুমি আরেকটা বিয়ে করবা? একদম নারী নির্যাতনের মামলা দিয়ে কিন্তু জেলের ভাত খাওয়া ছাড়ো।
এই কি করলেন? এই কি করলেন আপনি? আপনি আমার জেলের ভাত দিতেন, জেলের ভাত খাবেন? বেশি কথা কই না, বেশি কথা কইলে আপনার ননদে এখন এই মুহূর্তে 3 কথা কথা লাগে।
দেশ সাহস থাকতে না লাগতে দেই তোর কত বড় সাহস।
কি আপনি আমার সাহস দেখতে চান?
হ্যাঁ চাই।
আচ্ছা ধরুন তাহলে 1 তালাক।
আমার বোনটাকে ভাই, আমার বোনটা তুমি তালাক দিও না, আমার বোন তোমার অনেক ভালোবাসে, ওরে তালাক দিলে আমি ফিরে নেব না।
আপনার নিজের ছেলে 5 বছর তার ব্যাপার, টাকা না পেলে আমি তার তালাক দিব।
আরে ভাই এত মিষ্টি কেন ভাই, আমার বোন তোমার অনেক ভালোবাসে ভাই।
ওই মেশাই মুষ্টি মারি আপনার ভালোবাসা।
কিছু ব্যথা পাইছো? তোর এত বড় সাহস, তুই আমার স্বামীরে গান ধাক্কা দিছস? এই শয়তানের থাপড়ায় দাঁত বসে ফেলা যাও।
না না, ওর গায়ে অনেক শক্তি, ওর থাপ্পড় দিলে
এই চুপ কর। সে তোমার কিছুই করতে পারবে না। সে তোমার ছোট বোনের জামাই হয়ে তোমারে ধাক্কায় ফেলাই দিছে। অনেক কষায় দুইটা থাপ্পড়।
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر.
كانوا من آياتنا عجبا إذ أوى الفتية إلى الكهف فقالوا ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا فضربنا على آذانهم في الكهف سنين عددا ثم بعثناهم لنعلم أي الحزبين أحصى لما لبثوا أمدا نحن نقص عليك نبأهم بالحق إنهم فتية آمنوا بربهم وزدناهم هدى وربطنا على قلوبهم إذ قاموا فقالوا ربنا رب السماوات والأرض لن ندعو من دونه إلها لقد قلنا إذا شططا هؤلاء قوم اتخذوا من دونه آلهة لولا يأتون عليهم بسلطان بين فمن أظلم ممن افترى على الله كذبا وإذ اعتزلتموهم وما يعبدون إلا الله فأووا إلى الكهف ينشر لكم ربكم من رحمته ويهيئ لكم من أمركم مرفقا وترى الشمس إذا طلعت تزاور عن كهفهم ذات اليمين وإذا غربت تقرضهم ذات الشمال وهم في فجوة منه ذلك من آيات الله من يهد الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا وتحسبهم أيقاظا وهم رقود ونقلبهم ذات اليمين وذات الشمال وكلبهم باسط ذراعيه بالوصيد لو اطلعت عليهم لوليت منهم فرارا ولملئت منهم رعبا وكذلك بعثناهم ليتساءلوا بينهم قال قائل منهم كم لبثتم قالوا لبثنا يوما أو بعض يوم قالوا ربكم أعلم بما لبثتم فابعثوا أحدكم بورقكم هذه إلى المدينة فلينظر أيها أزكى طعاما فليأتكم برزق منه وليتلطف ولا يشعرن بكم أحدا إنهم إن يظهروا عليكم يرجموكم أو يعيدوكم في ملتهم ولن تفلحوا إذا أبدا وكذلك أعثرنا عليهم ليعلموا أن وعد الله حق وأن الساعة لا ريب فيها إذ يتنازعون بينهم أمرهم فقالوا بنوا عليهم بنيانا ربهم أعلم بهم قال الذين غلبوا على أمرهم لنتخذن عليهم مسجدا سيقولون ثلاثة رابعهم كلبهم ويقولون خمسة سادسهم كلبهم رجما بالغيب ويقولون سبعة وثامنهم كلبهم قل ربي أعلم بعدتهم ما يعلمهم إلا قليل فلا تمار فيهم إلا مراء ظاهرا ولا تستفت فيهم منهم أحدا ولا تقولن لشيء إني فاعل ذلك غدا إلا أن يشاء الله واذكر ربك إذا نسيت وقل عسى أن يهدي يهديني ربي لأقرب من هذا رشدا ولبثوا في كهفهم 300 سنين وازدادوا 9 قل الله أعلم بما لبثوا له غيب السماوات والأرض أبصر به وأسمع ما لهم من دونه من ولي ولا يشرك في حكمه أحدا واتل ما أوحي إليك من كتاب ربك لا مبدل لكلماته ولن تجد من دونه ملتحدا واصبر نفسك مع الذين يدعون ربهم بالغداة والعشي يريدون وجهه ولا تعد عيناك عنهم تريد زينة الحياة الدنيا ولا تطع من أغفلنا قلبه عن ذكرنا واتبع هواه وكان أمره فرطا وقل الحق من ربكم فمن شاء فليؤمن ومن شاء فليكفر إنا أعتدنا للظالمين نارا أحاط بهم سرادقها وإن يستغيثوا يغاثوا بماء كالمهل يشوي الوجوه بئس الشراب وساءت مرتفقا إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات إنا لا نضيع أجر من أحسن عملا أولئك لهم جنات عدن تجري من تحتهم الأنهار يحلون فيها من أساور من ذهب ويلبسون ثيابا خضرا من سندس واستبرق متكئين فيها على الأرائك نعم الثواب وحسنت مرتفقا واضرب لهم مثل الرجلين جعلنا لأحدهما جنتين من أعناب وحففناهما بنخل وجعلنا بينهما زرعا كلتا الجنتين آتت أكلها ولم تظلم منه شيئا وفجرنا خلالهما نهرا وكان له ثمر فقال لصاحبه وهو يحاوره أنا أكثر منك مالا وأعز نفرا ودخل جنته وهو ظالم لنفسه قال ما أظن أن تبيد هذه أبدا وما أظن الساعة قائمة ولئن رددت إلى ربي لأجدن خيرا منها منقلبا قال له صاحبه وهو يحاوره أكفرت بالذي خلقك من تراب ثم من نطفة ثم سواك رجلا لكن هو الله ربي ولا أشرك بربي أحدا ولولا إذ دخلت جنتك قلت ما شاء الله لا قوة إلا بالله إن ترني أنا أقل منك مالا وولدا فعسى ربي أن يؤتيني خيرا من جنتك جنتك ويرسل عليها حسبانا من السماء فتصبح صعيدا زلقا أو يصبح ماؤها غورا فلن تستطيع له طلبا وأحيط بثمره فأصبح يقلب كفيه على ما أنفق فيها وهي خاوية على عروشها ويقول يا ليتني لم أشرك بربي أحدا ولم تكن له فئة ينصرونه من دون الله وما كان منتصرا هنالك الولاية لله الحق هو خير ثوابا وخير عقبا واضرب لهم مثل الحياة الدنيا كماء إن أنزلناه من السماء فاختلط به نبات الأرض فأصبح هشيما تذروه الرياح وكان الله على كل شيء مقتدرا المال والبنون زينة الحياة الدنيا والباقيات الصالحات خير عند ربك ثوابا وخير أملا ويوم نسير الجبال وترى الأرض بارزة وحشرناهم فلم نغادر منهم أحدا وعرضوا على ربك صفا لقد جئتمونا كما خلقناكم أول مرة بل زعمتم أن لن نجعل لكم موعدا ووضع الكتاب فترى المجرمين مشفقين مما فيه ويقولون يا ويلتنا ما لهذا الكتاب لا يغادر صغيرة ولا كبيرة إلا أحصاها ووجدوا ما عملوا حاضرا ولا يظلم ربك أحدا وإذ قلنا للملائكة اسجدوا لآدم فسجدوا إلا إبليس كان من الجن ففسق عن أمر ربه أفتتخذونه وذريته أولياء من دوني وهم لكم عدو بئس للظالمين بدلا ما أشهدتهم خلق السماوات والأرض ولا خلق أنفسهم وما كنت متخذ المضلين عضدا ويوم يقول نادوا شركائي الذين زعمتم فدعوهم فلم يستجيبوا لهم وجعلنا بينهم موبقا ورأى المجرمون النار فظنوا أنهم مواقعوها ولم يجدوا عنها مصرفا ولقد صرفنا في هذا القرآن للناس من كل مثل وكان الإنسان أكثر شيء جدلا وما منع الناس أن يؤمنوا إذ جاءهم الهدى ويستغفروا ربهم إلا أن تأتيهم سنة الأولين أو يأتيهم العذاب قبلا وما نرسل المرسلين إلا مبشرين ومنذرين ويجادل الذين كفروا بالباطل ليدحضوا به الحق واتخذوا آياتي وما أنذروا هزوا ومن أظلم ممن ذكر بآيات ربه فأعرض عنها ونسي ما قدمت يداه إنا جعلنا على قلوبهم أكنة أن يفقهوه وفي آذانهم وقرا وإن تدعهم إلى الهدى فلن يهتدوا إذا أبدا.
Beautifully bowled. Beautifully bowled. I'll be very interested to see what the pace of that ball is. Well, we've spoken about what the surface does when you bowl at less than 80 Ks, and Van der Sar as a wrist spinner can produce that kind of delivery. And Root, so good. Again, tells you how well he picks that length and line. Gets beaten the previous delivery, but he's not afraid to go through mid-wicket the next one.
And that's the beauty about, you know, how well Joe Root picks the length up there, because it looked as though he might have sort of got himself, you know, a little bit, the ball a bit fuller and got a bit cramped there, but just a little adjustment. Oh, was that? Long wide given, bit of turn. With a little adjustment, that Joe Root and the quickness of his hands and how good his hands are, comfortably get him out of any trouble he finds himself in.
Got it. That's what Van der Sar can do, and that's what the Sri Lankan captain wanted him to do. They were desperate for a wicket. They needed this partnership to be broken. And Jeffrey Van der Sar, in his very first over, has provided it.
It's a big wicket for Sri Lanka, waiting to bring her into the contest. Jayasuriya desperate for a breakthrough. Sri Lanka desperate for a breakthrough. The ball's turned back onto Ben Duckett's middling off stump. Delight for Sri Lanka. The partnership is broken. Good partnership between Root and Duckett. England 88 for 2.
Sri Lanka have struck. So they just maintain. Over. Oh, and he gets off the mark with a little push. And a very good over from Van der Sar comes to an end. A wicket taking over. It's 89 for 2. for 2. So Joe Root will be the next big target for Sri Lanka. Now, what they will be telling themselves, get Root out and get 2 new batters in. And then let's try and see how the surface starts to respond. They brought on Dhananjaya, who's gone for 20 in 3 overs, but with a left-hander on strike, I can understand what the captain's thinking.
I also like not only the captain's decision with the bowling change, but the field. All 5 fielders inside the circle are tight on the single.
Yeah, but I really like a little bit more pressure. I like to see us slip in with Bethel on strike. I think that's a chance you got to take.
Yeah, and bring one of your long on or long off up inside the circle. Bethel down the wicket, stumped on Thursday in the first game.
I'll bring Miron up and maybe attempt to get him to try and go over the top. This is what happened. The delivery before this previous one turned, just brushed the pads. That one turned back from different line. Bringing Miron forward and letting him go over the top as a left-hander.
And try and entice him out of his crease.
See, you could straight away see a bit of tentativeness in the batter. And what Sri Lanka doesn't want to see is to find the edge and not have somebody there.
Also, the buzz around the ring, the body language of Sri Lanka has completely changed. Got the wicket, they broke the partnership. They've got a new batter on strike in Bethel. 5 dots in a row. This turn, huge turn, lavish turn. Took it expecting it to bounce, possibly just that little bit more.
He will want 2, but only a single. It's 90 for 2. So Bethel has faced 7 deliveries. Root hasn't faced a ball since that Duckett's dismissal.
And it's good that there's a slip in from Van der Sar for Bethel. It's a statement of intent. That was the
Good running, but you could see that it held up a little bit in the surface. And Van der Sar just throwing it up a bit, inviting Bethel to try and come down and drive.
I'd be disappointed if I was the bowler there. I was disappointed that the fielder, as if he's sleeping, he's on the ring, got to be saving that single. Feel the pressure that the batter's under. See the bowlers bowling from either end. Bowling strong. Noise from inside the circle just releases the pressure. Then all of a sudden you bring Joe Root back onto strike.
And what Sri Lanka will want to do is to bowl more to Bethel. Just keep him on strike. So 2 things could happen. They can build dots. They can create pressure. They can entice him to do something wrong or different. They just want one end open. Lanka wants. They want to open up one end. They've had Duckett. They've now had Bethel playing a bit too early, tossed up, and Asalanka completing a very fine catch.
That's a beautiful bit of bowling from Dananjai. Just held it back, but not only held it back, just held it there, just drifted a little bit wider. Into the foot marks, the ball's bounced just a little bit. Splice of the bat and a good catch low down. Ecstasy for Sri Lanka, disappointment for Bethel. Bethel knows, Jacob Bethel knows. He just needed to wait for the ball to come that little bit further to him. He's gone for 6 and England 97 for 3.
Also stayed down.
Stayed down, yeah. I think that's going to be the story of the next sort of 30 overs in England's run chase. The ball's not going to bounce any higher. It's going to get lower and lower as the lacquer gets off the ball and the ball gets a bit discoloured and the ball gets a bit softer. England have to make the run and pierce on the ball. It's a great shot there from Joe Root. Found the gap beautifully. Strong running, poor fielding from Sri Lanka. It's going to get lower and lower as the 100 up for England. Gets off the ball, gets inside the discoloured 20th over. It's a bit softer.
Yeah, that wasn't a clean pickup. Sri Lanka needs to be sharp on the field because they're defending just 219. Yep, just couldn't gather. Stop was good, but couldn't gather, couldn't get rid of it quickly. Again, they wanted that single stop, they couldn't. 101 for 3.
A lot to ponder for Sri Lanka coach. Been going nicely. Lost a wicket of Bethel, big wicket, but England captain Harry Brook at the crease. That's better from Sri Lanka. Eventually that was better from Sri Lanka. A good stop, good throw. Mendes. Didn't quite get it cleanly. Again, good intent from Joe Root.
See, what will be interesting to see is how Joe Root plays Van der Sar. Now, the first one was a reverse. Obviously, he's trying to put Van der Sar off that length. Just wanting to make him bowl to him, maybe looking to get on the back foot. But with Van der Sar, he's very, very watchful because he's in a nice groove, Jeffrey Van der Sar, at the moment. The release is good. The pace is right. So it's a good contest. And Root gets it in the gap. Only a single. That's good fielding. Janet Payne again.
Yeah, very good. Very good. It was. It looked as though it was 2 all day. And it's good. Not only is it good fielding, but it's good for Sri Lanka because they've got Harry Brook on strike. Like you say, Van der Sar has got a nice little groove going here. Joe Root's trying to push him off his line and lens with the reverse sweep, the conventional sweep, possibly trying to get him to bowl a little bit shorter, so Joe Root can play him comfortably into mid-wicket off the back foot.
See, it's also a very interesting method he's adapted. Because when it's tossed up, he's not going through extra cover, but instead he's looking to go across with that sweep through mid-wicket. Last ball of the over. Good fielding, very good fielding by Van der Sar. Just a single, 102 for 3.
There's a place for us, peace and quiet and open air. Hold my hand and I'll take you there. Somehow, someday, somewhere.
$102 for 3. 21 overs bowled. It's not about the required rate. It's not about how many overs remain. It's about the runs from England's point of view. Because if they bat these overs or even 20 more, they're good. Get to that 220. So Sri Lanka, they got to hunt. Now they got to look for wickets. They got rid of Duckett. They got Bethel. Harry Brook is new. Deliveries to him, attacking fields. Ball not turning as sharply as we thought it would. It's only Van der Sar who's getting a bit of purchase, Amir.
Yeah, one is expected that the finger spinners are going to struggle to get some purchase out of this surface. Sluggish. There is not a lot of friction once the ball lands on the surface for the finger spinners, and hence not a lot of turn for them. One thing they could do to prevail here is try and bowl slower, entice the batsman into doing something different, force them into playing an expensive stroke. These kind of deliveries aren't going to work for Sri Lanka.
Yeah, it's a good length area. Spinners need to stay there. The moment you bowl short on a slower pitch, batters can do whatever they wish. Villalage, pretty expensive too, going at almost 7 and over. That's the line, that's the length.
Yeah, by containing the batters, Sri Lanka are not going to gain anything. They have to change their thinking. They have to look for wickets here. And I think last 2 deliveries bowled by Villalage, bowled with the right pace, a bit of loop as well. That's what he has to do consistently.
No, Asalanka is not looking to attack because he's looking so good. He's scoring at a runner ball. Attacking fields to Brook, but you got to bowl better deliveries to Brook. 104 for 3. Jeffrey, he has a slip for himself. Gets off strike Brook. Clever bowling from Dhananjay De Silva. He's not a really attacking type of bowler, but he's clever. Things like a batter. He has subtle changes of pace and angles. He's picked up 2 wickets, Dhananjay De Silva, which is very useful. Clever bowling from Dhananjay De Silva. He's not a really attacking type of bowler, but he's clever. Squeezes it through. Joe Root. Isn't he playing this easy?
That's experience for you. He spotted the line very early, which was outside the off stump. Instead of looking to hit the ball through extra cover, he knew there'll be a risk involved with the slip in place. Opted to reverse sweep the ball and did it with control. And a good result. Spotted the line very early.
He got the boundary.
Instead of looking to hit the ball through extra cover,
Doesn't need to do anything different now. Root will also know if he gets himself out like he did in the previous game. Sri Lankan tails is up. Could be panic in the England camp. 46 to Root. Get a couple at least. Not a good delivery from Mandase.
Yeah, Vandis is bowling out of desperation. He's looking to pick up a wicket with every delivery he's bowling at the moment, and hence he's been all over the shop. He has to regain his focus. Ball like that. A piece of a delivery to end the over. Nelson's on the ball.
To get that 240, 245. Does not get the length right. Josh Butler, Sam Curran, they're the batters to follow. That's the way to go. No consistency. The captain yells from slip. That's what we want.
player who likes to express himself, who likes to take control of the game. And if you tether him, you expect something extravagant from him. And at the moment in this over, doing it nicely, Bilalage came very close to remove Harry Brooks from the centre.
Look how close that was. Onto his pads. He can afford to take his time and play himself in. Brook, couple of balls ago. Ooh. Had that leg in the right place, if not crashing into middle stump. Another single. 24 bowled, 112 for 3. More than capable and useful players to follow. There's Overton. Dawson. Asalanka into the attack. Now Asalanka has to use Van der Sar sparingly too, because Bilalage is not bowling that well as he would like. Hence now makeshift brought in. Probably wouldn't say that. He managed to get Brooks in the first game. One that spun sharply, the pressure was building. Similar situation in the game when that happened.
At times, there is no harm in challenging the ego of your opponent. But Joe Root, ever so calm.
down the years returned in the space of 3 days under Michael Carrick and his coaching staff. Every player looked incredibly committed. Every player looked incredibly well drilled. They knew exactly what the plan was. Michael Carrick got it spot on, and they took their chances on the day.
Has Michael Carrick already made Ruben Amorim look bad?
I suppose you could say yes, given the changes that he's made. He's lent into using players in their best positions. We all know about the 3-4-2-1 and how players weren't really accustomed to it and they were second-guessing themselves. And Carrick has just taken 3 days to show Ruben Amorim up, in a sense. I do think the conversation is bigger than that. There's a big job to do in terms of a rebuild, which I think United are into now. A good start, though, is to lean on the squad that you have, get your players in the best positions and play to their strengths. I think that's exactly what Michael Carrick did last weekend.
Well, a very
He really loves playing in Sri Lanka. Heaps and heaps of runs in these slower turning conditions. Oh, lovely shot. There wasn't a lot of width on offer. That's Harry Brook. Top shot, 121 for 3 after 26. That was a classy shot, not an easy one to play. Probably 3 inches wide of the stumps, and that was enough for Brook.
Yeah, with the last delivery of the last over where Harry Brooks was able to pick up a boundary. Yes, you spoke about the width. In my opinion, that pace really helped his cause. He knew the ball was outside the line of the off stump. That's why he employed that stroke. No risk involved.
All signs that Brook is getting comfortable.
Went with the arm. Just opened the face of the bat off the front foot to find that gap. The square of the wicket on the offside.
Suddenly, whatever jitters that we saw at the fall of those wickets, they've disappeared. So 97 required. This is Joe Root. Averages in Sri Lanka well above the rest. Number of runs scored, he's got 100, 450s. Brian Lara. Actually, Nomla, that's Superb list. Three singles to end the 27th, 124 for 3.
See, we spoke about the slowness of the pitch. Why not use Lianage? He's got plenty in his repertoire. He can bowl the slow delivery, slow bouncer. He can vary the pace, the lines and the lengths. So why not? If the others are struggling, like English captain, exhausted almost every option.
Just get the feeling Van der Sar is bowling from the wrong end. 4 balls that we've seen, not getting any bite, unlike he did from the other end. He hasn't stopped all day. Trying to get up there. Gets the length wrong.
Yeah, Van der Sar is trying too hard. And in the process, he's bowling easy deliveries for the batters. Already gone for 6 runs in this over. No impression made on the batters in this over. 28 done, 131 for 3.
সবই চাবিয়ে গিলে ফেলেছি ড্রিঙ্কও থাকলে সব ব্যাগ বাস গিল প্রতি চুমুকে চিল ড্রিঙ্কও মানে প্রতি সিপে নাটা জেলিবি হেই ড্রিঙ্কওকে মোটা পুরো হয়ে গেল টাটা সব এক্সাইটিং আর রিফ্রেশিং প্রতি চুমুকে পাবে চিল ড্রিঙ্কও মানে প্রতি সিপে নাটা জেলিবি
But it's been easy cricket, isn't it, David? Risk-free cricket, and Joe Root's making batting look easy.
Roshan, when you were saying the old line, it's a funny old game, there was a hint of desperation there. But you're right, so many things can happen. We saw that in many ways just 2 nights ago, when England also looked comfortable for the first 20-odd overs. Joe Root is absolutely 100% the key. Everything he's done so far just shows his class. When he began his innings, I was saying he's the man, he is the man, with the experience and the knowledge and the know-how, the skill to negotiate this. And the fellow at the other end, we know he's a very, very talented cricketer who would have thought long and hard about his dismissal the other day, long and hard about how to make things better.
It looks quite clear that he's batting with a little bit more freedom, Harry Brook. I think that boundary of Velalage just released the pressure. And now we're seeing more of his range in terms of stroke play.
Yeah, but we don't need it. That's the thing, isn't it? It hasn't changed from the start of the innings. Root sweep shots have been well executed. He's got the line there, so we've seen that many a time in this innings. From outside off stump, you're pretty safe. And he gets on top of it nicely. The ones will do it. That's what's actually given both these men, as it were, a lifeline here. Half an over. Every one, you chip away 4 ones in the over, all is good. 135 for 3.
Hey, grab me 1-2. Hey, grab me 1-2.
.135 for 3. 85 of 126 balls. Sri Lanka quite desperate at the moment. Spoken about what options Sri Lanka has. It's pretty straightforward. Get wickets.
Well, it's almost to that stage where, as a captain, you have to change from your standard fields, which are men on the boundary, just the minimum number, in one, that sort of thing. Because you've got to try and squeeze it. So, for instance, with the man back there, there's a big enough gap that if, as exactly happens there, Dhananjaya drops it just a fraction short, nothing much going on. Little push, that's the one. 5 balls left, 3 or 4 more ones, you're on target. So, in a sense, you have to take the risk, which is squeeze the ones. You can leave the odd man out. Obviously, if you bring everyone up, then at some stage someone's going to release the pressure by going over the top. But at the moment, it's just looking incredibly easy. There's no real pressure. So unless you can stop the ones, it doesn't matter for England whether they win on the last ball of the 50 or 40, anywhere in between, anywhere before that. They just need to just keep playing solidly, because at the end of it all, this is now down to England to break this horrendous losing sequence away from home, just by making sure they get the win.
Yeah, you're right, because Sri Lanka is also kind of in a bit of a laid-back kind of approach. They're waiting for him to make a mistake. So if you look at the field, as you said, so many gaps, and all England need to do is just do it in singles, push it around, just like that.
Yeah, the big difference between tonight and 2 nights ago is the runs. Sri Lanka's target was more testing the other day, and sorry, England's target, in fact, Sri Lanka's total was more testing. So there's always the threat, as happened, that the required